When did I realize that what I thought was a perfect marriage was actually a lifelong sentence? As a child in a small village in Eastern Europe, I idolized my mother. Even if it meant being married off at 16, treated like property, and taught to stay quiet when my husband came home smelling like someone else. My mother called it grace, a woman's strength. She'd brush my hair in front of her mirror and tell me stories about her own mother, who raised 14 children while sharing her husband with two other women, never once complaining, because jealousy was for weak women. At 16, my parents arranged my marriage to a 23-year-old veterinarian. I felt privileged, chosen, compared to cousins married to tradesmen. My mother cried tears of joy and whispered that I was fulfilling my legacy. The pain on my wedding night was unbearable, but she had warned me. That was just proof of purity. To my surprise, my husband was gentler than expected. After I became pregnant with twins, he never touched me without asking. He even promised he wouldn't again if I didn't want to. I thought I'd hit the jackpot and told my mother, who praised me for being so lucky. When I turned 18, we moved to Finland. There he asked if he could see other women. Politely, gently. I agreed, proudly thinking it made me wise, open-minded. It's what my mother had done and all my aunts. When I called home to share how mature I felt, she praised me. Real wives didn't get jealous, she said. Jealousy poisoned families. Every Friday night, he'd go out after putting the boys to bed, and I'd scrub the kitchen floor feeling proud. Until COVID hit, I fell seriously ill, couldn't breathe. For over a month, he never left my side. He nursed me, held me, carried me when I couldn't walk. One night in delirium, I fell asleep on his lap. Hours later, I woke up. He was still holding me, his neck stiff, but he didn't move. After that, he changed. Gentle, doting, devoted. He made coffee, kissed my forehead, shielded me from creeps in the supermarket. I fell for him, fully, dangerously, and suddenly Fridays became unbearable. One night I followed him. Through a hotel window, I watched as he held another woman with tenderness that cracked me open. I went home sobbing and called my mother. I told her I wanted it to stop. She organized an emergency family meeting. My aunts and grandmother arrived, grim and unified. They took turns explaining how love was weakness. My grandmother had endured STIs. My mother admitted to drugging herself to avoid hearing my father leave. One aunt pulled out antidepressants, blaming her despair on Western monogamy fantasies. They said I was ruining everything with my feelings. Love, they insisted, was selfish. That night I broke. I told my husband everything. I expected him to dismiss me as irrational. Instead, he broke too. He confessed that he had never wanted any of it. His father and uncles had driven him to the escort the first time, forced him, told him I'd lose respect if he didn't prove his manhood. That's how it was done. We collapsed together on the kitchen floor, two people who had always loved each other, but were taught that love was dangerous. The next morning, I called my mother and said, no more. No more lies, no more traditions that crush us. She told me I was spitting on generations of sacrifice. I looked at my husband making pancakes for our boys, trembling but trying to teach them kindness, and realized she was right about one thing. I did want to be like her when I was little.